Hey there, everybody. It's Wednesday morning. I was surfing the web and lost track of time, so we're 1 minute late today. Sorry about that. I was on the Twitters looking at all the latest political jibber jabber, and I saw an advertisement for a webcomics site. You know, they're promoting an artist, so I checked them out. The webcomic's called Big Fat Charlie. And if I didn't know better, he was writing about my life. He's a big, fat, bald dude with a giant beard who loves cats. And, yeah, so I was, I was checking that out and then looked down and it was 10:01. So, whoops. But hey, you know, you gotta check out your peers in the world. That's right, he's my peer. So anyway, we're here on Wednesday. Sorry I missed Monday, but I had that very important job interview. I think it went well. You never know. They sent me home with the role is for a proofreader, and they sent me home with a take-home test to edit some copy and proofread some things. And so I did that. It was due this morning, but I did it yesterday and sent it back to them. And I'll wait to see how I did on that, and if they want to move on to the next step. So that's exciting. But you know, fingers crossed. In the meantime, we got shit to do around here. We'll make some strips. So as you can see, I have the template opened up for the 2-panel XL, which just means the second panel is large because I have too much to say in the second panel. You know, to scrunch it down into the regular panel size, but it's also just kind of needs to be done in one panel, not in, like, you know what I'm saying, like not a 3-panel strip. It's got to be a 2-panel strip, but the second panel's got to be big. So that's what we're doing today. It's actually, I should have prepped. I should have been prepping better instead of surfing the web. But what can you do, right? Right. So what we need to do here, and what's going to take just a little second, is that part of the joke for today's comic is going to involve that that costume, the spider. Here it is. When Troll dressed up like a spider for what is happening? Dressed up like a spider for a little role play in the bedroom, and that was not a good idea, as anybody could have told him, and Winston tried to tell him. But we're gonna institute part of that. So let's see what you're seeing on the OBS. Okay, so we've got that file open now. I found it on my drive there. So what I'm going to do is unlock all the levels, all the layers, and just delete everything except for himself. And then I'm going to cut him out. Luckily, you know, I'm not saving any of this, so I'll just Control X to cut him out, and then Control W to close this. No, I don't want to save it because I ruined it all. And then here we are on this one again. And I think what I'm going to do is just add a new layer and drop him in on it. Alright, so I'm going to, I'm just going to paste, and I'll group him up, and there we go. And we'll call this layer Spider Troll. Alright, now I've got him to do with as I please. He's going to be small. About that big. Okay, so let's see, hold on. Let me see if I... Nope, I didn't kill anything. I don't think we have any strokes. Just in case, I'm going to expand on this. And then that way it makes, if there is a stroke on anything, it makes it into a shape, which resizes better. So we're going to go about that size for Troll. Alright, so now let's hop over to the blue line layer, lock that Troll layer. Bring our little friend the drawing tablet around. Alright. Have a sip of the DP. Stands for Diet Pepsi, not double penetration. Alright, so we'll hop over here to the blob brush. Just thinking in my head where the dialogue is going with this. Now that I think about it, I could have done a 3-panel one that had the XL. I need that XL at the end of it, but I think we could do this. We can do this in 2 panels. Alright, so we're gonna do troll down here. That is not a happy brush. Let's do 3. Let's try that again. Let's see how the... Okay, it's working. Alright. So the back of troll's head. Always a popular angle. That hat's always in profile. And then J pops up here. This is just the blue line. The computer seems like it's dragging a little bit. It's lagging a little bit behind me on a couple of these lines. So and we'll see if he needs his mansplaining hand up here. If we have room for it. If not, I'll take it out, but I'd like to put it in. Okay, but there's going to be a lot of copy in that first panel. A lot of dialogue. But yeah, if you guys get a chance, Google Big Fat Charlie. It's pretty good stuff. Alright, so we got that going on. Looks like he does some other comics too. I haven't looked into those. And then over here, we're going to have this guy on a computer screen. Right? And then we're going to have some pant legs just sticking up. Let's see here. Yeah, this is lagging pretty good behind my... Some nice wingtips going on here. And I want maybe his ankles to be more exposed. So you can be wearing sock suspenders. And we'll make this luminous here. Alright, this doesn't matter because it's all blue line. over here we're gonna have some dude. Come on. That's an absurd tie. Alright, so let's back that up. There we go. Still somewhat absurd, but... This just makes me think of when Homer Simpson wanted to wear a short sleeve shirt. I mean, he does wear short sleeve shirts, but because he really enjoyed Sipowicz. Hey there, Jonathan. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. The interview seems like it went pretty well. It's a proofreading job and editing, so they sent me home with a take-home test of some copy that was just horrible. But actually, to be honest, not the worst I've ever seen in my professional career. And I had to send it in to them yesterday, and they will review it and put me up against other applicants, and we'll see how I did. But thanks for asking, man. I think it felt like it went pretty well, like personality-wise, so that's always a plus. Let's see here. It's fun to get some other characters in here. So yeah, we'll see about how that job interview went. I will definitely post, because having a day job will obviously affect what we got going on here. But we'll burn that bridge when we get to it, right? Okay, so I think that's enough to, oops, I hit the wrong button. Let's redo. Okay, I think that's enough to save there. Take a little sip. So I know I was the only one watching there for a second, so I don't know when you guys jumped in. But what I did is I opened up that old strip that I had of a troll here in the spider costume, and then just cheated and dropped that onto a layer. I made a special layer here called Spider Troll on this file, so that he can be part of the punchline. So we're going to work on the dialogue right now, but in the first panel, J Puff's going to be saying, "Hey, is your," or this troll's going to be saying, "Hey, is your password still 1234?" And she says, "Don't say that. The NSA could be listening." And Troll's going to be saying, "What are they going to do? Log into my webcam?" And then at the second panel is NSA headquarters, and one of the guys is dead because he saw Troll in a costume, in a spider costume. And the guy's going to be saying, it's a shame about Peterson. He only had 3 days before retirement. And there would be a sign up here that says NSA headquarters. All right, so that's where we're going with this. So let's work on that dialogue. So we get the balloons going. Let me get this here tablet out the way momentarily. All right. So we got Cabalar as our font. 18-point type for now. We might knock that down smaller if we need to. And caps locks. Hey, is alright. See, I don't like the way that that's flowing. So I'm gonna let's work on the wording a little bit. Hey, is your laptop password? Yeah, I guess that's fine. We don't want to add too much arbitrary copy to it and make it, clunky. And she's saying, shh. What I should do is draw SmartBot in the back there. Alright, so I want to hop on the blue line layer and pull her down a little. I can even make her smaller. She doesn't have to be that big. Oops. I'm going to say lives. Okay, I'm going to say like the NSA has nothing better to do. And then we can take her, put her up a little bit there. All right, and then I'm going to change his name to Jenkins now. Come on. I don't like that he hanging out there. Let's drop that down, see. 3 days short of. There you go. That evens that out a little bit. See, that's part of the game is, figuring out how things flow. I don't like how that nothing's hanging out. Okay, that's alright. We can take Troll and move him over a little bit, because we don't really need to see too much of his back. Although, I just screwed that up. So let's grab all of Troll, group him, and then we can move him over more easily. I think that these would be served by being a little bit smaller type. So I'm going to knock him down. That was 17. Here's 16. Alright, see, that flows a little bit better. That one too. And then we can put that down there, and we can make J Puff a little bit bigger. Alright. And that one's fine at 18. Maybe I'll kick her down to 16, see how it looks, just for consistency. And then I want a big sign in the back that says NSA headquarters. But we'll change the font on that. Let's make it something techy. Some kind of techy font. That was pretty. That Bauhaus 93. Let's see what else is there. Come on. It's got to be compelling television here. You know, maybe just something as simple as impact gets the point across. Although it's pretty heavy, so let's keep looking. All right, let's see here. You know, Myriad Pro might be the way to go. Or would the NSA have Comic Sans for their headquarters sign? Alright, and then I'm going to draw a box. Make the stroke 2 points, the outside stroke there. Then I'm going to send it back. There we go. See if we can line these guys. I think I'm going to put a line underneath that says, "We're watching you." Alright, hold on. There we go. That's the key command I was looking for. That's the tough part about hopping back and forth between Macs and PCs. Alright. NSA headquarters. We saw that. Alright, let's save that so we don't crash and lose all of our good stuff. Alright, now hop over to the ink layer and draw us some cartoons. Alright, so we got the brush is black and blobby, and I think I'm going to make it a 2-point brush just because both Troll and J-Puff are kind of small in this one. And let's do it to it. Well, you know what? I'm going to change my mind on that one. I'm going to go with 3-point. Come on. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, that's a nice darker line. It's a terrible line, but it's nice and dark. Illustrator's lagging behind me again. You know, when I did that one on Sunday night with the cat singing Old Time Rock and Roll, I did it on my Mac because I didn't need to live stream it, and I didn't need to have a camera looking right in my face is what it was, because the laptop has a built-in camera, but it's over there. It's over to my left, so I don't use it because the PC has more RAM and faster processor, but you know, so it tends to save a little bit faster and stuff. But I think that the Mac doesn't lag behind as much, despite having a slower processor and less RAM. And so when I did that one Sunday night, I did it on the Mac because I didn't have to broadcast, and it all went swimmingly. There were no technical errors whatsoever. But that could have just been because nobody was watching. You know, Murphy's Law, right? Get his little nose in there. Maybe an eyebrow. Alright. J-Puff action here. There's the moment of truth with these loops here. Not perfect, but an acceptable level of Phil McCracken. That was not, however, so let's redo that line. Okay, and her eyebrows will come on the shading layer. Alright, let's save that. Have a little drink of soda pop. Breakfast of Champions. Now these detectives. Make it better over here where it was. Alright. So I wore a tie to my interview. That was a rare occurrence. Seeing as most of the time I'm working, who knows if I'm even wearing pants? There's this guy's watch. Alright, we want his NSA badge right here. I think before I try to write that in, I will make the brush smaller. So we'll save that for a little bit later here. That can be on the shading layer, I think. What a weird looking arm. Let's try that all again. That's fine. Alright, now here's the, I guess the punchline here, so we should be careful with this. Alright, and then the same thing over here on this guy. Scrawny little analyst legs sticking up here. No offense to any analysts watching. No offense to the NSA that's now tuning in because of the number of times I've said NSA today. Alright, and I think the back of his chair here. And then this guy's legs, his old man crotch. Let's save that. I feel the need to save, so whenever that happens, do it. This guy's got a big old nose. Little creepy eyes. his hand here. It's a terrible line. Let's do it again. Beauty of Control Z. Yeah, this guy's name badge. Do not like that line. It was too much of a tangent with the other guy's line. Alright, and then compete there. You know, I could cheat and use the rectangle tools for all this, but I think that the overall style of my usual strips are pretty sloppy. So it is sort of jarring when a line is too perfect. You know, like the in that last post that I made with the cat dancing around the mantle and everything behind him, I made, you know, just with the rectangle tool, and it wasn't as bad because I had it like grayed out and kind of pushed into the background. I guess in this case I could turn up the smoothing, but that's okay. We're almost done. Look at this keyboard in here. It doesn't really matter, you know, how it looks. As long as it would help if Illustrator would keep up with me when I'm making these lines. There you go. Everybody knows it's supposed to be a keyboard, so it doesn't really matter anymore. Right. Okay, I think that the, well, first off, let's save. And then I think that the NSA headquarters sign needs to come down a little bit. And what I'm going to do is draw strings holding it up. Okay, so I don't think I missed anything. I think maybe right here I'll draw the top of SmartBot. Smartboard's always listening. Okay, cool. Let's save that. And then I think that I'm relatively happy with where things are laid out. Come on, zoom out. Jesus. There's kind of a big, weird negative space on the left side of that first panel, but it's going to have a line coming down, the balloon tail coming down to troll, and then otherwise we can fill that up with some shading from on the halftone layer. So we're okay. Cool. I like it. It's a good joke, everybody. Make a good joke. So I'm going to hop over to the balloon layer now and draw in the tails. What's happening? Okay. Oh yeah, I was going to do the, on the ink layer, I was going to just write NSA in there on their badges. We don't need no stinking badges. We'll see if this is even worth it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Terrible line. Alright, and we can take this guy and move him up to fit a little bit better. That is a weak balloon. Let's try that again. I'm going to see how it looks like to drop that 2 to the bottom, to the last line. I like that better. And I'm going to drop like to the next line too. I'm going to change this to what I was, because he said it before. Oops. So it gives a little consistency to his speech pattern. I'll move that one up there and draw in a balloon for it. I always like the balloons to go off the top. Okay, let's save that. And then we will lock and hide the blue line layer. I don't know why it was unlocked. Very dangerous. Asps, very dangerous. You go first. Alright, we're hopped over here to the shading layer and do our thing. So we're going to pump the brush up to 7 points. As is usual. Find a nice light gray. Unlock that layer, helps. And let's do our shading thing. Alright. That shadow line on the very bottom of her. Save that. And then this 7 is feeling kind of big. I think I'm going to kick it down to 5 for now. And we can pump it back up later if we need to. It's just there's so much detail in that second panel that I don't want to just use too big of a brush and blob over all the details. Just go ahead and fill that whole thing in there. A little sloppy in the back there, so we'll just undo it and redo those lines. Let's see. That's sloppy right there, too. There you go. So I think I'm gonna do this guy's details first. Alright, then this guy can have gray pants. I was worried, I was just trying to be conservative on the other guy because the tip of the dead man's shoes like overlapped the other guy's pants, the guy with the hat. And I plan on making the shoes have some gray in them, so I didn't want them to get lost just against the gray background. But this guy's body is completely separate, so he can have some gray pants. Come on, computer, I need you to keep up with me. Got a little sloppy there. I'm wondering if I should make those shoelaces, if I should fill them all in black. I think that might be what we do here in a second. Might as well make his pants gray. Alright, there's going to be steam coming up off of these copies. I think that detracts from it, so I'm going to just get rid of those. This guy's drinking cold coffee, or maybe it's whiskey. Oops. There we go. And now I can jump this up to 7 here. Get these bigger areas. Might as well fill this guy all the way up. And then the back of his chair. I don't even know if you can tell that's what that is, but it's fine. It's filling up space here in this corner. And I can give this guy a shadow here on the inside of his leg. Yeah, that's fine. Just fine. It's kind of a Balchinian. Alright, and of course we'll have the halftone patterns in the back. Ah, dang it. Alright. Zooming out. Okay, I want to change the brush to black. Zoom back in. I was going to do his shoelaces. This black is not the same. Every time. There we go. I'm gonna see a spot where I want to add in a little shading. Right. Now it is time to save it, and we'll do the halftones. So like I mentioned, let's lock the shading layer and get to the halftone layer. Like I mentioned, we will fill this part up with just a random shape. Yeah, that's fine. Let's try a different. Okay, so I can get rid of this. So it was a little bit more challenging to do that shape tool with. I wish I had more desktop space. Let's hop over here to OBS and see how. Oh, I'm still in frame. How about that? I was worried every time I hit the monitor. I think I made it worse. Oh, gad. All right. It's easier to do the halftone stuff in with the mouse. And I'm going to put a little Corona around SmartBot here to indicate that he's listening. Or she's listening, I guess. Alright, and we're going to have to go in and add white, shapes around all that. Now for NSA headquarters here, I think I kind of want the opposite arc. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's just adjust that curve a little. Alright, I think that halftone in that case is a little too dark. So let's switch up to a lighter one maybe. Whoa, that's not lighter. Alright. And I'm going to run one across here. So we've got a lot of filling in white spaces today to do, but I want this to be right. And I know you guys want it to be right. Otherwise you wouldn't be tuning in. Alright, so now we got a shape. We're just going to use white for the fill. And we got to kiss an angel, good morning. I think I'm just going to outline this entire balloon, since I've got to knock it out of this guy here in the bottom and then up at the top again. Might as well just do the whole thing. In fact, we'll just do both of them. I'm just going to keep going with it. Come on, catch up. Now, I guess that was kind of unnecessary to have to follow that whole bow since it's already opaque. But that's all right. We got it done. Boom. All right, and then we need to do this one. And we might as well do the whole balloon. Troll needs it. Let's zoom out. I'm gonna try, now that I'm looking at this, I'm gonna hop over here to balloon layer real fast, and I'm gonna change NSA to government. Nah, fuck it, NSA. I don't like having to use that abbreviation. We'll save that as long as we're paused here. Lock the balloon layer again, jump down to halftones, and do our thing with the white shape tool. Except it's filling in black. Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? Alright, let's see here. There we go. Alright, and then NSA guy needs a little help here. Got kind of a candy corn on top of his hat. Means Halloween's coming, everybody. Oops. Got lazy there, cut a corner. There we go. Almost there. Now I might stream, I've got some freelance work to finish up, but I might stream some stuff a little later. I promised Janelle I would draw some goats for her by the weekend. So if it doesn't happen today, it's, you know, no big deal. She's incorporating some cartoon goats into our weekly or our bi-weekly D&D game. Alright, I think I'm better off going this way. just happened. Hold on. That needs to be filled with white. I have no idea why some things happen sometimes. Alright. Let's try this again. This guy. Alright. This guy. This guy's pretty easy. I'm just going to do his lower half. And then the computer. Does not compute. Alright, let's see here. I'm wondering, looking at this balloon, this whatevs, I wonder if the whole thing, and I think I did the whole thing, yeah, to move over and up. I know I didn't grab that line, let me fix that. Actually, I think I'm just going to redraw that line. Alright, let's try this again. I don't like how that one runs off the side of the panel. So let's try to draw another one. I think that was the 2-point brush. Usually try to do that. There. Maybe a little janky. Let's try it again. That's not so bad. And then there you go. And then we need to edit on the halftone layer this wet backs. Oops. Grab that point and drag it down there. Add a point. And then add one more point. I just like that better. I like that little sliver of background between the edge of the blue and the panel. I think I kind of feel the same way about the top one up here. Let's see here. Alright, and we will draw a black one in. Yeah, I like that better. And then on the halftone, we just need to adjust that white back there. Alright, cool. And then just recenter this guy a little bit. I just like, yeah, I like that little breathing room on the end. The one next to J-Puff doesn't bother me, but those two were harsh on my buzz. Looking at the halftones, I feel like maybe they're a little heavy. That one down there is not maybe so bad in the back, but let's see here. It's heavy here. I'm not sure that I hate it though. Yeah, let's go with it. All right. Sorry, everybody. Tune in. Pay monthly to see me just stare at the screen. While I'm using my thinking parts. All right, so yeah, I think we're good. Let's just run by for pacing. Hey, is your laptop password still admin123? Shh, you never know who could be listening. Yeah, whatever. Like the NSA has nothing better to do these days. Pity about Jenkins, who's only 3 days short of retirement. NSA headquarters, we saw that. I like it. Alright, so let's save that. And yeah, I guess that's our stream for Wednesday. It's a last one for the week. I won't see you until Monday morning, and maybe I'll have news about that job. Who knows? But yeah, that's cool. So thanks for being my patrons, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll talk to you all later.